Okay, the next chapter is something, the next chapter is something that is going to be very, very simple for you. If you are ever in this kind of job, this network administration job, it's going to be really important to understand how cabling works. Even today, 10 years ago, we used this a lot more because people were just starting to develop structured cabling systems, and they were really, they had a hodgepodge of cabling in their businesses. By this time, and maybe I should say that 15 years ago, it was more difficult. And then they started developing structured cabling systems. A lot of companies became very profitable and made a lot of money off installing cabling and getting their certifications in cabling. Not so much these days. They've really, cabling companies have really thinned out. There aren't a whole lot of them out there anymore that are successful, especially if they were just doing copper cabling. If they took the initiative to get certified in fiber optics and wireless technologies, then they did okay usually. But those who just functioned in the structured cabling world found themselves in a saturated market because the standards didn't change. The standards might have changed, but the requirements from the end users didn't change that quickly. That opened up, replacements of their cabling. For example, everyone 15 years ago was putting in Cat5 cabling, which was fine in most networks. And if they weren't pushing past the boundaries of distances, then those Cat5 networks were even allowing people to get gigabit speeds out of their devices, which is pretty cool. So this chapter is about wired and wireless networks. We all pretty much, anyone in this room not use a wireless, well, you're all using wireless right now. If you're on the internet or if you're looking at the materials in OneNote, you're using a wireless network. So some things that you may not know about wireless networks we're going to cover here. A lot of things you don't know about wired networks we're going to cover here. And this chapter, God bless you, this chapter will help you to troubleshoot problems in business, which I still run into because people don't understand the basic rules of how wired networks work. Wired networks, still the most common type of physical connection that computers make in business. Okay, in business. In consumer environments, that's not the case. In your homes, primarily, how many of you connect your computers at home using a wired network? How many plug into an Ethernet cable? Yeah, me too. Why do you do that, Caitlin? Do you not have a wireless network?
I mean, I do,
You don't really think about it, you just plug in? Okay. Somebody else raised their hand, wired. Yes, Zach, why do you use it?
Because it's faster.
It is much faster. It is much faster. Even though you may be browsing the internet, which is the bottleneck on the internet is more your internet service provider, not your internal network, whether it's wireless or wired. What you'll find in a wired network is you're not sharing that bandwidth with other people, the internal bandwidth. Of course you are with the internet bandwidth, but you're not having to share. Wireless networks are very inefficient. Someone had their hand up with a question. Someone have a hand? No? Okay. All right, so wired networks are still the most common type. Twisted pair cabling, specifically unshielded twisted pair cabling, is the most commonly used in local area networks. Okay? Going to businesses today, they're still running unshielded twisted pair cabling. What is the other type of twisted pair cabling? Anyone know the answer to this? There's unshielded twisted pair. Go ahead. Yes. No? No guess? We have unshielded twisted pair cabling and shielded twisted pair cabling. Okay. Okay, UTP, or unshielded twisted pair cabling, is the easiest to work with. It's flexible, it's efficient, it's fast, and these slides are in your OneNote already, so you don't have to copy these verbatim, just copy the points that I'm covering that are outside the actual words on the screen. That's a suggestion. Or you can go ahead and just copy every word off the slides. A single twisted pair cable has 8, well, this isn't necessarily the case anymore, but let's just learn this, and this is what you'll be tested on. 8 wires are copper conductors that transmit electronic signals, or electric signals, or electronic signals. Okay, unlike fiber, which transmits what? Jordan? Huh? Okay. Let's go ahead and take a break. We'll answer that when we come back. Will you stop the recording, please?